All right, here we go. We're going to do a self-evaluation of your Mass and Matter Lab, the one you guys just completed. So here are some goals as to why I made this video for you. I wanted you to understand how the Necap grades labs, which is different than how we do. I want you to learn how to increase your score or do the very best that you can. And I want you to see actually what the Necap requires, so it's good practice. Okay, so take a look at your prediction. If you gave a prediction with support from the story, and maybe it read something like this: I predict the mass will be the same before and after mixing because matter cannot be created or destroyed. Go ahead and check off the 2-point box on your rubric. If you didn't give it any support, give it the 1 point, and hopefully yours did make sense and you didn't get 0 points. So go look at your data table. I want you to make sure that if you're going to check off the 2-point bucket, or box rather, you would have it complete with at least 3 physical properties of the water and the powder. Also, please make sure that you have any units that were included. 1 point would be complete with some of the physical properties, but not at least 3, and 0 would mean incomplete or you didn't fill it out. Okay, so we're going to turn to question 1, which says, explain why it was important in this investigation to measure the mass of the substances and the bags before and after you mix the substances. Use specific evidence to support your answer. So 2 points would show why it's important with evidence supported, such as it was important to measure before and after because we needed to compare them to see if the mass increased or stayed the same. 1 point would not include any evidence, and 0 would hopefully because you didn't say the procedure told me to. Okay, question 2 asks you, look at the prediction on page 4. Do the results of your investigation support it? And use specific information. So for the 2-pointer, you would want to say something like, the results did support the prediction in all 3 trials, and washers were 3 before and after. I think that says trails, not trial. Sorry. 1 point, answer does not restate it or doesn't include it, and hopefully you didn't get 0. Okay, question 3. Do you think the investigation was controlled? Now remember, controlled means stays the same, means you didn't do anything different all the way through. So the answer is yes, it's a controlled experiment because nothing on the outside could affect it. The Ziploc bag was closed, so nothing could get in. And the procedure was also done the same all 3 times. So go ahead and take a look at the 2 or the 1 or the 0 points and go ahead and give yourself a check mark where it belongs. Okay, question 4 asks you, gives you a little story about Elaine's and students in her class, and it wants you to compare the results from the students who left their bags open. So after comparing results, it shows that our closed bag results are different. The averages were 0 0.5. It's really important that you include those numbers in there. If you left the bag open, gas could escape, and that would of course affect the overall mass, right? Because you wouldn't be able to actually measure that. So go ahead, give yourself either 2 points, 1 point, or 0. Question 5 is actually just the graph. It's not actually a question 5, I think. Oh, actually it is, if I'm looking at it. And what I want you to do is, first of all, make sure you have a line graph, or I like to call them connect the dots graph. You have to make sure time is on the bottom. If time is on the y-axis, you only get 1 point. If you did a bar graph, you get 0 points, because remember, if anything changes over time, it's always a line. So question 6 says, and I think this is definitely the trickiest of all of them, describe the pattern or trend in the mass of the candle over time shown in your graph. Compare your graph to graph 1. So basically, compare the graph that you're looking at in question 6 with yours. So the answer is the mass of the candle decreases over time. The graphs are different because they're showing different things. They're kind of comparing apples and oranges. One's comparing mass over time versus mass over time. The other one is changes or the differences in mass over time. So go ahead and take a look. 2 points, 1 or 0. All right, question 7, hang in there, we're almost done. Explain why the mass of the candle changed over time. Use information to support. So the mass of the candle changed because it was out in the open, or it had an open system, right? And nothing was combined or added to it. Go ahead and take a look. See if you're a 2 point, 1 point, or 0. Okay, last question. So they're giving you another scenario, and it says, use what you've learned from the burning candle experiment to explain why your results from powder X investigation were similar differences from the results of the 2 students who left their bags open. So I'm hoping that in your head you went, oh yeah, open versus closed systems. So the answer is, Students who left their bags open were like the burning candle, again an open system. The gases that were created escaped and not actually you were able to get the mass of it. So the mass is more than before and after mixing because all of the gases were contained, so the mass was the same, which you would expect, right? This is really just an open versus closed system. So are you a 2 point, 1 point, or 0? Okay, so the reflection that you're going to answer for me, please make sure you've completed each question. Don't forget, did you fix your answers so now you know how to get 2 points for every question? And remember that you're being graded on your self-reflection, not if you were correct or incorrect in the lab. I wanted you to have the lab experience and I wanted you to have the reflection experience as we're going forward. Remember, you'll take these in May for me. And as always, thanks for watching.